If you turn on a fight and reach for your phone 10 seconds later, it's not a weakness. This is a new ecosystem in which MMA no longer competes only with other sports. It competes with an endless stream of clips where every 3 seconds someone falls, screams, provokes, and the algorithm immediately throws out the next dopamine hit. In this environment, serious MMA, with its strategy, tactics, positional play, and those boring minutes where victory is decided, is beginning to lose out to the show culture of TikTok and memes. Let's break down how this is happening and what to do about it. 1. Short clips have rewritten the rules of the game. The algorithm loves 3 things: instant conflict, understandable visual gags, and recognizable faces. A fight where you have to watch round after round, read the shifts, catch the tempo, and micro corrections. Loses to a video where one glance at the camera and one phrase give the same surge of emotion. As a result, promoters, fighters, and even commentators begin to act according to the rules of the tape. A quick hook of attention, a simple emotion, a memorable moment. Anything more complicated is discarded. 2. The meme as industry currency. Previously, the currency was records, belts, and PPV. Now it's the clip moment. The mask, the spin dance, the hook after the siren, the cage removal, the phrase at the press conference. Memes are measured by reach, and reach is measured by money. And if an athlete with 1 to 2 highlights sells more than a technician with a perfect base, matchmaking will begin to adapt to meme demand. We get more fights with a high chance of chaos and fewer with pure chess control. 3. How the fighting style is changing. Memes require explosions. This means that fighters force exchanges more often, take unjustified risks for the sake of a highlight, ignore boring positioning at the fence, and cut corners less carefully because the audience does not reward patience. This creates a seesaw effect, either a quick KO and a storm of likes, or utter exhaustion after the first few minutes of TikTok cardio when energy is spent on visual bursts. And yes, technical bouts, jabs, exhausting clinches, footwork without knockouts are less likely to be appreciated by the masses. 4. Pressure on judges and narrative. Let's make an unpleasant observation. Judging, the atmosphere of the arena, and commentary do not exist in a vacuum. The crowd reacts to every clap and half chance because that's how they've been trained by the tape, to react quickly and loudly. A commentator who understands that his phrase can become a wave of clips will choose more meme-worthy phrases and moments. Sometimes this is innocent. Other times it creates an optics in which pure tactical work looks less significant than one bright swing, even if in fact the swing did not change the course of the fight. 5. Promotion and matchmaking according to the algorithm. When the promotion sees that teasers with trash talk and ridiculous jokes get more views than 10 minutes of quality analysis of the opponents, the resource is transferred to where the metrics are growing. Crossover events, combat bloggers, hybrid formats, and card fillers appear, which prove nothing in a sporting sense, but sell well in clips. The result? Elite sport is partially turning into a backdrop for the show. Serious fighters are forced to play this game. Otherwise, they are simply less visible. 6. Content camp instead of training camp. The gym increasingly resembles a studio. Cameras, content plans, daily stories, staged moments. This is understandable. The contract and the sponsor see the numbers. But there is a side effect. Noise fills the space that used to belong to deep work. Boring, difficult periods of fighting at the cage, analyzing mistakes, dirty techniques in the 3rd minute of the clinch. The choice is simple. Another hour on the media or another hour on getting out of side control. And too often, the former wins. 7. Fan Psychology 2025. We live in a mode of microdoses of attention. The feed has bred impatience. Give me understanding in 5 seconds. But MMA, on the contrary, is a long cycle of understanding. Scouting, camp, weights, game plan, adaptation during the fight. Viewers who are constantly scrolling don't have time to get into the context and perceive the slow pace as boring. And instead of cultivating a taste for complexity, the promo serves up another dose of sugar. More trash, more funny moments, closer cameras, louder slogans. The market doesn't lie. There are advantages to this trend. To be fair, memes and shorts have brought in new blood. A casual viewer found MMA through a funny clip, stayed, bought merch, subscribed to a fighter, and came to the arena. Money has grown, the infrastructure is stronger, and athletes have more bargaining power. The problem is not with the format itself, but with its dominance, when the short form begins to dictate what exactly is considered a top event and how to prepare for it. 9. where the balance between sport and spectacle breaks down when a fighter's media plan is more important than their fight plan, when the card is built around a TikTok star rather than a contender, when commentary on positional pressure gives way to jokes, when after the event, people discuss not the winner, but the funniest line, when promotion is built on conflicts rather than context and stakes. 10. How to protect serious MMA and not lose to the algorithm. Promotions. Make 2-layer announcements, short for entry, long for meaning. Every vivid clip should lead the viewer to an explanatory video, schemes, threats, plan options. Reward technique narratively. The best takedown defense, the best footwork, the best cross, as separate micro belts of the season. Not a farce, but legitimate awards with prizes and numbers. Educate the viewer right during the broadcast. Use simple graphics and replays to highlight boring but key micro moments. Turn them into technique memes to commentators and analysts. Balance hype and meaning, one clip punch, one clear analysis. Introduce a language of evaluation to the viewer. Explain why 2 successful takedown defenses and jabs through the stack are sometimes more important than one wild swing. Make the complex clear. 15-second explanations with simple words teach technique better than a minute-long shout. For fighters and teams, tell a long story, the roots of your style, your journey, your weaknesses, what you changed in camp, but without clowning around. The algorithm loves honesty just as much as shock value, if you package it right. Invest in technique memes, short clips where you show how you remove your opponent's hand, how you cut off their trajectory, how you break their stance in the cage. These are clips, but about sports. Set boundaries. Yes, creativity is needed on social media, but there should be areas of complete media silence in the camp. For fans, vote with your wallet and attention for meaning. Watch breakdowns. Subscribe to techies. Support analytical content. Don't be shy about publicly demanding normal matchmaking. Contender fights are more important than circuses. 11. What really kills serious MMA? Not TikTok as a platform or memes as a format. They are just tools. What kills it is the monoculture of the clip, when all elements of the industry synchronously adjust to one KPI: instant response. When this KPI becomes a religion, the subtle parts of the sport disappear from the frame because they are difficult to monetize in 3 seconds. The solution is to bring back multi-format content. Short form gets people excited, long form reinforces, broadcasts educate, and post content deepens understanding. 12. Why is this important for the US audience? The American market is the main driver of money, trends, and the language of sports. What becomes the norm here very quickly becomes the norm around the world. If the logic of only memes and trash wins in the US, in a year the same picture will be everywhere. In regional media, in Europe, in Latin America. But if viewers, media, and promoters here begin to consciously support technique and meaning, the balance will return globally. 13. Counter-argument and response. But the numbers are growing, so what's the problem? The numbers are growing, no doubt about it. The question is the depth of engagement. How many people can explain why one fighter won positionally, how he cut off the corner and broke the stance? If the proportion of such viewers falls, the sport loses its immunity to chance and hype waves. This is a direct risk to the quality of future generations of fighters. They begin to learn according to an algorithm rather than to win. 14. Where to go from here? The anti-meme format. A short clip with a single idea that raises the viewer's IQ by 1 point. Why a left-hander breaks a right-hander's timing with a jab. Why fight at the fence for 40 seconds? Pure storytelling, not farce, but human drama. Trauma, journey, change, price. It's just as good to watch as trash talk, if done honestly. Visual analytics, simple graphics in the broadcast and post shorts that reinforce what has been seen. Matchmaking with real stakes, a clear grid of contenders, transparency, understanding what they are fighting for. 15. Final a meme leaves for 48 hours. A recording of a classic fight lives for 10 years or more. We can let the feed dictate what MMA is, or we can use the feed as a springboard to a deeper understanding. Serious MMA dies only where it is not given space and language. Let's give it that, and it will once again become what it should be. A sport that withstands any fads because it is built on things that are not subject to fashion. Discipline, intelligence, and courage. If you agree, support those who make the complex understandable. And the next time your hand reaches for your phone during a boring moment at the cage, catch yourself. Perhaps the outcome of the fight is being decided right now. It won't fit in the feed, but it will go down in history.